Okay, I'm just setting up the live stream. Won't be a moment. All good. Hurrah! So today we're taking a look at the Kodiak 100 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. This was an old favourite in 2020, so we're taking it for a flight in 2024. I didn't actually realise it was compatible already, so they've done quite a poor job in publicising that, because it was one of the better aeroplanes in 2020. We're going to be taking off from Stavanger, or Sola, in Norway, and we're going to head north along the islands and then go and explore around some of the fjords along the way, so we'll see how we get on. I'm running SayIntentions in the background. There's a link in the notes, so if you wanted to go and have a play with SayIntentions yourself, you can get a free trial. SayIntentions gets better and better every time I look at it. Okay, so this is Kodiak. If you've not seen it, let's just have a quick look around the aeroplane from outside. It's one of the better aeroplanes that came out for 2020, and it appears to be just as good as it ever was, but now in 2024. So you can see it's obviously factory fresh. Looks fantastic. I've got the Tundra tires on this particular model, which are quite chunky and big, but we may need them if we end up landing in the fjords somewhere in the wild, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, so first things first, I haven't got a checklist for this, so I'm going to be going by memory. We go and switch on the fuel shut-off valves overhead, and then we'll just pop the yoke off to do this. We'll put the master power on. We'll go and put the nav lights on just to tell people we're in the aeroplane doing things. And the beacon light can come on. We're going to start the engine any moment. Let's go and fire up the navigation display, because it's got the engine gauges on it basically. So fuel shut off goes in, and then we put the propeller through. Interesting, why have I got no prop controls? It's going to reseat the USB for my controller. There we go. There's something odd going on here. Okay, let's power up. Why do I have no prop? Okay, let's go and check the mappings. Settings, controls, quadrant. This will explain it, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So I need to set this to basic throttle and propeller, so that puts the axis on each stick, and we now have RPM, and we now have power, and we can go reverse as well. Very good. So we'll put the RPM out. Actually, we can leave it idle, it's not going to hurt. So basic processes in this aeroplane is you start the engine up. We're going to put the fuel pump on first. Auxiliary fuel pump. Then we're going to start the propeller, and we don't bring the fuel in until, now I can't remember the percentages, but we're going to let it get to 20%, and then we have to scoot across here slightly and bring the fuel in. Obviously, once the engine's up and running, we can turn the pump off, if I can grab it with the mouse. And the starter can come off if I... Again, the click spots are tiny. Okay, so that's the basics done. Now we can go and put the alternator on, generator on, and the other power buses, which will bring up the co-pilot instrument panel. And we've got, I think this is all on auto by default, the environment control system. Okay, let's go and have a play with this, because I haven't put the route in yet. So if we go flight plan, I wonder if we can bring it in from in here. So I've prepared a flight plan of just going, airport to airport through several airports, and then if we scroll down, can we send it across to this?
Solid ground, good morning, Scandinavian 4611, information.
Doesn't look like it.
IFR clearance to Aberdeen.
So there's a limitation.
On that clearance. Stand by.
There's a limitation of it being the older version.
Via the Leopard 1 Golf departure.
So we can at least put some basics in now.
Departure on 118.5, squawk 3541.
So we're taking off from Echo November Zulu Victor. Now, will this work? Yes, it will. Solar. Enter. Enter. And where are we going to go along the way? Karmoy, Echo November Hotel Delta. We'll just put the first few in. Then Echo November Sierra Oscar. Busy burning fuel while we're sat here. So Stocken. Flesland, Echo November Bravo Romeo. And then Echo November Sierra Golf for Haukeson. Echo November Sierra Golf. And then Bringerland, Echo November Bravo Lima. And we'll go as far as Floro on this first group we put in. Echo November Foxtrot Lima. Echo November Foxtrot Lima. Enter. So we've got some basic flight planning in. Okay. So I should have done this before we started. Let's go and put some fuel into the aeroplane just to make sure we've got some. I don't know what it's going to have been loaded with by default. So 50%. Let's go and take it to 75 or 80. Load in the aircraft. So we should see that here. Although it's not. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the markers are up there. That's the low fuel warning area down the bottom, isn't it? Calibrate the altimeter. Go and put the taxi light on. So let's go and have a look and see what the wind's doing. 2 knots from... Oh, I've got the wind off, I think. Just for a bit of fun then, should we turn the weather on to live? Just to see what's going on. There we go, we have some clouds. So what's that doing with the wind? Whoops, wrong button. 8 knots from the south, so we'll probably be taxiing up to runway 18, I would imagine. So along Gulf. But we're going to talk to the ground with SayIntentions to find out what we're doing. Solar ground. Kodiak Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, requesting taxi to runway 18.
Beechcraft Hotel 137, Bravo Solar Ground, taxi to parking Georgia at your discretion. Have a good day. Kodiak Bravo Echo Kilo, taxi to runway 18 via Lima 1, Sierra Golf 3, Golf 2, Golf 1. Contact tower on 118.35 when ready for departure.
Interesting. So we're here. Okay, there's Lima, Sierra, Golf. That makes sense. So 2 left turns, basically. That's all she really had to say. Taxi to runway 18 via Lima, Sierra, Golf. Contact tower on 18.35 when ready for departure. Kodiak, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. Okay, let's go and get the head tracking working. Center ourselves up. It's looking okay. So I'm going to ignore everybody stood around us. So if you remember, we need to go right out of here and then 2 lefts. It's quite a big airport, isn't it, Solar? Did I put the taxi light on? Yeah. So this aircraft does have somewhere, let me have a look while we're just taxiing along slowly. I'm just going to check where what we're doing here. Okay, so we're going left here. It's got the engine inlet protection from debris. I can't remember. Is it this one down here? Whoa. It would help if I looked where I was going, wouldn't it? So this is the Gulf taxiway, and the runway is just over to the right of us. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten that the Kodiak existed, or, you know, was compatible. I'd seen murmurings about it recently in the simulator. Common thing you tend to see, the 2020 aircraft, when they're pulled into 2024, is they look too shiny.
Good evening, Sola Ground Nordic 523 with information Lima, request IFR clearance to Oslo.
I'll have your clearance in just a second.
Clear to Oslo via up level 1 hotel, departure runway 3.
So we're going to switch frequencies until we come to the holding point for the runway, and then contact the tower. Solar Tower, Kodiak, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, holding short, runway 18 for departure via VFR.
Kodiak, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, Solar Tower, runway 18, winds 19.5 at 8, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 18, Kodiak, Bravo Echo Kilo. Okay, so we need to advance the fuel control to flight, props to max, landing lights on. Let's have a look at that, see what it looks like outside. Well, they're just up on the wing, I think. Gently holding the center line, it's quite docile. Okay, so rotate gently. See that crosswind pushing us. Flaps can come up. We'll execute a right turn. If we climb out to about 2,000 feet, we should be good. Or 1,500 actually would be enough. I'm going to turn the head tracking off for a moment, just so I can make some adjustments. It's 1,500 on the altitude pre-selector. I believe we can, we can just set the heading by pressing it, which will align it with the aircraft direction. We have got the CDI in GPS mode now, which we didn't before. So there we go, we're on an intercept course with, we've gone a bit high, so let's drop back down to 1,500. RPM can come back. Autopilot on. And put it into heading mode. We're just bringing ourselves back onto the track. We're pretty good to go now. So we don't have to talk to tower as we depart, we can just switch to CTAF. So that's the common traffic advisory frequency. Now look, while I'm busy, I've gone and flown straight through the track we want to be flying on. So we'll turn ourselves back onto an intercept, and then we'll switch to nav mode. And the aeroplane will start following the GPS. So while we're doing that, we can go and I should have put the pitot heat on already really, but it's a nice sunny day, so it's not going to hurt too much. The taxi lights can come off, landing lights can come off. We should have had the strobe on. Interesting, that should have come on the runway. Not familiar with the aeroplane anymore. It's been a long time since I've seen this aeroplane in the sim. Okay, let's go nav mode. So the aeroplane's going to track across to pull the GPS track. It's a great aeroplane. It's very, very stable. We can go and put the engine inlet back to norm. If it'll let us. We can't actually see it, can we? Can we see the writing? Oh, we can if we get that close. We want it on normal. Look at this thing banking into the wind. So what wind do we have? Let's go and have a look. We've got a wind behind us, so why is it leaning? Is this a bug in the aeroplane? We haven't got any trim going on, have we? That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It's just flying along at an angle. Okay, so it's a problem with the aeroplane. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? So this might turn into a very short flight as we just have a quick go with the Kodiak. I didn't notice when I was looking at it on the ground. Well, obviously you wouldn't. You sat on the ground. So presumably, is that a problem with the autopilot, or is it the aeroplane itself? Let's come off the autopilot. So it's doing that to counter... No, it's yawing to the right the entire time, isn't it? But we could... Okay, let's put the autopilot back on. What do we get in the way of rudder trim in this? Do we? I don't think we do we? Are the trim controls this side? Nope. It's the aileron trim. Because I'm guessing we could fix it with rudder trim. I'm just going to go and set some keys up to do it. So not main menu. Cancel that. Settings, controls. Let's make a keyboard key to do it. Search by input. No, we want to search by rudder. So rudder trim left, U. Rudder trim right is O. So U and O on the keyboard will do it. Go back, save them back. So we know that's going to make it worse. That's fixing it. It's just a question of getting it right. So someone's saying rudder trim is below the throttle. Oh yeah, it's down here, sorry. So I'm pressing it obviously on the keyboard to do it, but it's fixing it. Look, we're level. You can check that with the artificial horizon here. Interesting. We worked the problem, ladies and gentlemen. So let's increase the range. So we're on our way towards Karmoy. So this won't give us the frequency automatically, so we'll try doing it by ourselves. So comm radio tower 120500. So up here 120 500. Switch that to active. Karmoy tower Kodiak Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo 1500 feet approaching from the south, requesting touch and go.
Kodiak Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 13, left circuits approved. Report downwind each time.
Runway 13, left circuits approved, will report downwind each time. Bravo Echo Kilo. So let's go and look on the map.
Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 13, cleared for touch and go.
So left circuits, so we need to deviate or move off to the right of our track. So that we left turn onto runway 13. Okay, so we'll center the heading bug up the direction we're going. We'll switch back to heading mode and we'll turn, for the moment, 20 degrees. So there's a trick you can do in LittleNavMap actually. If you go and right click on an airport, you can add the traffic pattern. So we want the runway 13 left traffic pattern. We'll say a mile out, 1,000 feet would be about right for the traffic altitude, and it will draw it for you. If you wanted it smaller than or bigger than that, so say a mile and a half. So if we remove that pattern, if you right click, add the traffic pattern. So runway 13 left. Downwind to runway, we want it 1.5 miles, I guess. So okay, and it's that little bit bigger. So you can see we need to get to 1,000 feet. So these are, it's illustrating the entry points as well. So we actually want to come out further. So we would enter the pattern over to that side. So let's go do that. Going to turn north. And it just gives us a visual guide. Obviously the traffic pattern isn't set in stone. So we want to come down to 1,000 feet as well while we're at it and get the speed under control. So let's pull the speed back. Altitude to 1,000. Do vertical speed to get there. I just remembered we changed the weather, didn't we? And I didn't then go and correct the calibration of the altimeter. There's the runway. So we're going to be turning left in a moment to 312 degrees. So I'll just bring us in to somewhere near. Actually, it would have made more sense, wouldn't it, for us to carry on out this way and then turn in more sharply, just to show that the idea of coming in at a 45-degree angle. So we'll do that. And we're just playing around, really. And again, this isn't a specific point, it's anywhere along the downwind leg that you would come in. So we're going to turn 270 in a moment. Based on compass actually, 280 might be better. So we're going to come in at an angle onto the circuit.
Skyhawk 3 Alpha Zulu, winds 175 at 13, runway 13, cleared to land.
And then turn right to 312 degrees.
Cleared to land, Skyhawk 3 Alpha Zulu.
So this does have ILS here, so we can play with that as well, 109.1. So we want 109. Actually, let's go and change to nav1, 109.1. Switch that to active. and this will then show, when we switch over the CDI, it will show our position relative to the ILS beam. Okay, this is no fun, is it, flying on autopilot? Let's take over. So autopilot off. And turn the head tracking on. And if we turn the CDI over, so it's now showing us the glide slope. So as we get further away from the airport, if we just hold about 1,000 feet, you'll see the CDI come up towards us. Sorry, the glide slope come up towards us, because we're getting further and further away. But if we hold altitude, obviously, so I'm going further away than the normal pattern, just to show you this. Here it comes, look. So that will be the 3-degree glide slope. It's just, we're coming up, or the altitude of the glide slope is coming up to meet our altitude. So we'll turn around. And the lights on. We're on the glide slope altitude, so we can begin descending. Obviously we're off to the right, we turned a bit sharp there. But this is interesting because then you'll get to see the CDI come in as we get onto the centre line. We didn't call down wind, did we? I was so busy messing around with the aeroplane, completely forgot. So we're a bit below the glide slope, as you can see. So if we just lift the nose gently, you see that agrees with the PAPI lights. Have a look at this from outside. I wonder if I can land it from outside. Takes off like an elevator, doesn't it? Look at it yawing. Okay, we're going to turn north. So, landing lights off. And we'll just fly low and slow and have a nose around rather than play with the avionics all day. Just putting in a little bit of aileron trim to stop us torque rolling. So should we say goodbye to the controller and see if they'll say goodbye back to us? Karmoy Tower, leaving your airspace, good day. I didn't say who we were, did I? Let's see if they ask about it. Nope. In the real world, you might have got a, who are you? Getting quite misty, isn't it? We're just coming up into the cloud ceiling here. Let's have a look at where we're going. Heading up to Sogndal. So should we get the frequency for that? Oh, it doesn't have it's not a controlled airfield, which means we can arrange our own.
Kodiak Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 13 cleared for touch and go.
Yeah, that's getting confused because we are leaving. Karmoy Tower, cancel touch and go intentions. Kodiak Bravo Echo Kilo. Let's go back to CTAF. Common Traffic Advisory Frequency. So then we just announce our intentions to local traffic. What does the Unicom frequency say here then? So CTAF 123.5, 120.2. Interesting. It's different. Yeah, the heat blur from the exhaust is a bit overdone, isn't it? No doubt that's an aspect of it being a 2020 plane that's not really working properly in 2024. Okay, we can see the next airfield coming. This is only a penciled in route. I would be quite interested in flying up this fjord over here. I wonder if Odda is where they filmed the, oh, what was it called? The TV show about Thor and the ice. Oh, what was it called? Ragnarok. There was a TV series called Ragnarok that was set in a valley, and that looks very, very familiar. They called it Odda in the TV show, which obviously was fictional, but I think it may have been filmed up here. It'd be interesting to go and have a look. So we'll go and have a look at this airfield first. Or do we? Yeah, we'll go to Stockholm first, and then we'll cut across, go up the fjord. So we'll turn right, go up the fjord, and go and fly along it. I think it'd be good fun.
500.
So I'm being asked, am I going to get Chase Plane when it's released? What is Chase Plane? I just installed the other day Flight Control Replay, which I've not actually looked at yet. But apparently that works now. So there's a SayIntentions panel, I didn't realise that. Okay, so keep an eye out for an airfield. It's somewhere directly in front of us. So according to this map, it's over there. Or over here, actually. Just looking at the map. Should we bring the range down on the map? So over here somewhere. It's in between the trees, isn't it? This is it right here. So, should we get the wind up on here? So wind is behind us, so yeah, we'll loop around, do a left pattern in. So local traffic, Kodiak, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, entering left pattern for approach into, where are we? Sogndal. Traffic, Kodiak, Golf Juliet, Bravo Echo Kilo, downwind for approach to Sogndal. I should have really said runway 14 then, but oh well. Speaking to dead air anyway. Look at the trees in the middle of the runway line. How are we going to avoid them then?
500.
It's up to us what we do, isn't it? So shall we scoot around the edge or over the top of them? Because the target point is not for quite a way past them. We could go over the top, couldn't we? So we'll just hold altitude for a few moments. Give it a bit more power. Because that power pulling the aeroplane to the left, that's a Kodiak. It's got such a big propeller. We're going to touch the trees. And the trees just went past us. Crosswind wasn't very much, but it was certainly pushing us. Okay, let's go. We're going to go left now and go up towards Odda, just to have a look, really. So we'll leave it on 1,000 feet for the moment. Although, let's take it up to 1,500, shall we? So take the head tracking off for a moment. Altitude pre-selector to 1,500, so we've got a target there. and we'll go vertical speed mode and tell it to climb at 500 feet a minute, and the plane is doing it. Did I take the landing light back off? No. Still got the taxi light on as well, actually. Oh no, that was off. Okay. Good. Next stop. Yeah, we were at Sorstokken, Echo November, Sierra Oscar. We're just going to go and have a look at this fjord before we go into Flesland. Unless there's an airport over here to go, and we could go straight over to Haugesund and follow the hills actually and cut that out of our route. It might not be a bad idea. So if I delete that from our route, we're actually going to go here. And do that. But we're going through here to get there. And then, yeah, just visual along the way. So this is just a guide. How are we doing for volume? Okay, yeah, the airplane's not drowning me out, is it? We can turn it up a little bit though. I think the simulator has kicked in and cut our volume down again. Well, sorry, not the simulator, but Windows. If I go to sound settings, yep, it's done it again. It did that to me yesterday. It turned me down. Should we see what the tour guide has to say? Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about this part of the world?
We're flying over the beautiful western coast of Norway. Known for its stunning fjords and rugged landscapes, this area is famous for its deep, narrow inlets, surrounded by steep cliffs carved by glaciers during the last ice age. The fjords are a natural wonder, attracting visitors from all over the world who come to hike, kayak, and explore the breathtaking scenery. The region is also home to charming coastal towns and villages, each with its own unique character and history. Keep an eye out for the lush greenery and sparkling waters that make this part of Norway truly special.
Temptation is going to get the better of me here. I'm going to go and open a browser on another machine and find out where the TV show was filmed. I'm pretty sure it was up here. So I'm going to put in, where was Ragnarok TV show filmed? Question mark. Yeah, it was filmed in Odda. That makes sense. So we're going to go up here, I think. Oh no, we're going to cross a piece of land first. So we're going up that one. That's up there that we've just seen. So we're going to cross this bit of land and then carry on up. Yeah, I thought it looked remarkably familiar when I saw it on the map. So if you've not seen the TV series Ragnarok, it's very, very good. It's quite low budget, but it's entertaining. Kind of follows the line that if Thor, or the idea of Thor, if the gods were true or were real, and Thor, somebody could become Thor, and the ice giants did exist, what would happen? Yeah, the rudder's trimmed out, hasn't it? The autopilot's trimmed it out. We're tipped over to the right again. Let's turn the autopilot off and fly by hand. We'll go lower along the fjord. So shift space and head tracking back on. Let's go and bring ourselves down to the tree line of the water. Going over speeding. You can hear the airframe complaining. I'm not going to dare put the tyres in the water. I don't know if it'll rip the plane to pieces. Although, well, let's just try it. It's not going to hurt anything, is it? It's a simulator after all. There we go. Play silly games with putting the tyres in the water. Yep, there we go, look. If you overdo it, you can only just graze the water with the tyres. A little way up to Odda, you have to follow the line of the fjord. Okay, I'm curious. What's this over here? It's just a pylon, isn't it? Is it a radio antenna? Yeah, mobile phone mast. How remote are these houses? That's crazy, isn't it? So we're going to go straight over the top of this hill unless this cutting takes us through. Let's go have a look. Looks like it. Okay, next left takes us into the fjord where Odda is. Looks like we're going in the right direction. I wonder if we can land somewhere along the edge of the fjord, up by Odda. That'd be quite cool. Just side slipping our way down into the valley. So we should see Odda out in front of us fairly soon, just coming around the corner. Just the other side of that piece of land. So hopes of landing anywhere are pretty slim because there's pretty uniform tree cover everywhere. But you never know. Maybe go and land up on top of one of the hills. And here it is. What an amazing looking place. force it around the corner just a bit too quickly. The aeroplane didn't like doing that, did it? There's nowhere to land here, is there? I should have brought the float version of the Kodiak, really. So, in response to DJ in the live stream comments, if you go and have a look at my YouTube channel, you'll see some recent videos looking at some of the military jets. So, given that the Kodiak, I've got the Tundra tyres on, let's go and have a look on top of this ridgeline and see if we can land up here. We might have to extend along a little bit to get this sort of altitude this quickly. You can see the airspeed is falling off. I'm wondering if we can land up on the snow though. Look at the propeller. Because we are at a fairly high angle of alpha, the propeller is pulling us quite strongly to the left, and that's normal for the Kodiak, by the way. You have to fight it with the rudder. So, where should we attempt to put this down? Let's look for a fairly flat area. Used probably along the ridge, I would imagine. Is that a house on top of the ridge? Well, it'll be a shelter, won't it? See, the top of this ridge just in front of us looks perfect. That's lovely and flat. Though it looks it from altitude. Let's have a scope it out first. Trouble is you can't really see anything, that's the problem. It's so bumpy.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Trying to stop it from flying, basically, without hitting too big a bump. We were a bit lucky there, but we've done it. Because of course, as soon as the aeroplane gets any purchase on the air, it starts to fly again. Let's see if we can taxi back towards the house. See what I mean about the bumps? We were lucky to get away with that. Look at the front suspension doing its work. There we go. So I'm going to call it there for today because I'm hungry. That was good fun. We just need to kill the fuel, don't we, to kill the engine in this. There we go. Oh, somebody obviously got out in the cold and put the wheel chocks back in place. Just to answer the question about the videos, if you go and visit YouTube and go to @JohnBeckett at YouTube, you'll find me. If you there's one, there's the F-35, there's the Eurofighter. That might be in 2020. Sorry. So in recent times, if we go past live streams, because I tend to live stream rather than record. There's the Jaguar, there's the B1, there's the Tornado. If you scroll back a bit further, there's the Hawk, there's the Vulcan, there's the F-35. This will all be in 2024. There's the F-35 again. But yeah, I've covered quite a lot of them. I think I covered as well the Mirage, but it's obviously somewhere hidden in here. I can't remember when I did it. But yeah, I've covered lots of things. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. I'm going to go and have something to eat.